Alright, so I've been thinking about this. Last week and last Sunday on February 15, I went to the gym very early in the morning, like around 4 a.m. or 5 a.m., and it was like completely dark out, and I was at the gym alone, and I was doing my usual thing. I was doing hurdles, I was doing my hour-long treadmill walk at the gym, and eventually a guy came in and he started to work out as well. And then after I was done with my workout, I packed up and I got into my car. And whenever I get into my car, I have it on the auto setting. And whenever I get into the car or I start the car, the headlights turn on. And I was parked in front of the gym. It has a giant window, and my headlights were reflecting off of the gym windows. And it got me thinking. It got me thinking of a couple of times when I was at the gym, and there were two instances where there were cars parked in front of the window with their headlights on, even though they were parked in the spot for like more than 5 minutes. Those people in their cars are parked and they have their headlights on, shining into the gym behind the windows into my face. Just think about that. If you're a driver and you are parked in front of a business or a store with your headlights turned on, just turn off the headlights because holy crap, they are bright. There are so many times when it's like dark outside and I see someone parked with the engine on and their headlights turn on. With their headlights turned on, sorry. And I'm gonna go back to the time, and I'm gonna go back to the part where I got into my car. The first three or four the first 3 or 4 seconds I get into the car and close the door, I turn the headlights off. Well, first I turn the engine on, and then 3 seconds later I turn the light off. Because the guy who went into the gym was on the treadmill looking outside the window, possibly towards me because my car is parked right in front of the window. And keep in mind, I go into the car, I turn the headlights off so that way my headlights don't shine into his face. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a single parked car with their engine on that has their headlights turned off. Even if they're parked in front of the windows, they always have their headlights on. And it's like whenever I'm inside that building, I have to look at your bright ass headlights shining into my face and blinding me. And sometimes they have their high beams on too. They're high beams shining into my face. Like, am I the only person who is smart enough to get into his car at night, parked in front of a business with people inside, that has the respect to turn off his headlights when I'm parked in my car? So that way I don't blind them because I've been blinded by the same headlights too. Yes, I've been blinded by these headlights, and I don't want them to be blinded either because I've experienced it multiple times in my young little life, my young short little life as a 20-year-old. I've had to get blinded by these headlights all the time. And I don't want them to get blinded either, which is why I turn my headlights off when I'm in the car. So they don't have to look at my headlights and get blinded by my headlights. I guess I'm the only person smart enough to do that. You get into your car, there's people everywhere. They don't want to look at a headlight because they're bright. And I turn them off. So they don't have to look at the headlights. Every parked car I see, every parked car at night, headlights on. Even in a crowded area, headlights on. And it's like, listen, if you want people to see you, even though they can hear your car, turn your parking lights on. That's the same thing I did yesterday. when I was taking photos downtown when it was cold out and I was warming up in the car, even though it was daytime, I had the parking lights on because at least you have some illumination without having to shine a light in people's faces. It only turns the orange lights on and the red lights on the car, so that way people know that there is a car running. I'm the only guy smart enough to turn on his parking lights or just turn the headlights off in general when I'm parked in my car. And I'm definitely not dumb enough to leave the high beams on when I'm parked, because there's no reason to have the high beams on when you are parked in your car. And definitely no reason to have your high beams on when you are driving in the middle of town. I've had like one or two instances where that happened, and both cars weren't actually cars. They were 4x4s. Trucks. With the giant 4 lights on top of the truck. They had their high beams on, and they were blinding me. In town. And it's like, hello, and I don't know how trucks work, but I'm pretty sure they're almost the same as cars, at least in the interior part. There's like a little dial that you like flip up and down, or you push it in and out to activate the high beams or deactivate it. And it's like, sir, you're in town, have your high beams off. And I'm pretty sure if they're parked in a parking lot, I'm pretty sure they still leave the high beams on, even when they're faced towards the business with people inside. It's just like they just don't care about anyone, you know. They just don't care about people's well-being. They just don't care. They just shine their bright ass lights wherever they go, not caring at all. And I'm just sick of that. At least I have respect to turn the high beams off when I see a car coming my way. At least I have the respect to turn the headlights off when I'm parked in a car. And at least I have the respect to at least sometimes turn my parking lights on rather than the headlights when I'm parked. Because I don't like blinding people. It's bad. And if you're watching this and you leave your lights on when you're parked, please take my advice and just do the simple task of turning your headlights off when you're parked. Okay? And I don't know who's worse, people who leave their high beams on when they're driving, when they're passing a car, or people who just leave their headlights on in general during daytime, especially during a sunny day, where there's like no reason for you to have your lights on. Sometimes if it's a cloudy day and a foggy day or a rainy day, it's acceptable to have your headlights on. But during a sunny day, it's like you probably don't even know how the headlights work. You probably don't even know how to turn them on or off. Do you even have a driver's license? I don't think so. Because you don't know how to turn your damn lights off, even though there's a indicator on the dashboard, like a green indicator to point out if the light is on or off, or a blue light, a blue indicator to indicate if your high beams are on or off. Like sometimes I'm driving during the day, during a perfectly clear sunny day, no clouds in sight, and there's like 5 or 10 drivers that have their lights on. Sometimes they have their high beams on too, and it's like, are you stupid? I guess you are. That's what happens when you drink alcohol and you smoke weed and you just do dumb crap in general. Watch porn, whatever. It fries your brain. You know what I mean? I'm right. I need a fresh stick of gum to calm me down. You know what I mean? Alright, I'll stop. I'll stop. I got unfunny after like the third time. Sorry. Alright, anyways, but yeah, just learn how your headlights work, okay? Learn how to turn them on and off, and play like it's like a flashlight. It's a flashlight. You do not shine your flashlight in someone's face. At least you're smart enough to turn off the flashlight or point it down whenever there's someone in front of you. But in your car, it's like they completely forget those rules exist. Only in their cars, they just leave them on. There's people everywhere. There's probably some kids walking by who have sensitive eyes, and you're just leaving your lights on like an idiot. Sickens me. I am smart enough to at least turn the headlights off when I'm parked in my car when there's people nearby. I'm smart enough to do that. They don't need to see the car. They can hear the car. They can see me moving around in the car, and they can probably see the blue lights in the interior of the car shining on my body when I'm moving around in the car, on my phone, whatever. At least I'm smart enough to do that. I might have a big head. I might have a crooked forehead. You look at me, crooked hairline, crooked scalp, whatever. Everything about my head is crooked, but at least my brain works. You know? So yeah. That's all I wanted to say. Like, people who leave their headlights on when they don't need them on, they annoy me. I just want to like ram my car into their car. I want to like smash out their lights so I can turn them off. I just want to yell at them. I want to honk my horn. I want to turn the music up even louder. I want to shout some inappropriate things whenever I pass by them. I want to flip them off with my pinky finger. I want to throw my trash at them. I want to take photos with the flash on whenever I'm passing them. I want to turn the headlights on and off again. I want to turn the high beams on and shine it into their face. I just want to do all of this stuff to get them to stop doing it. I want to do everything in my power to stop it, but no matter how many times you try to get them to stop, they're to keep doing it. I have some really skinny arms, my God. Yeah, so even in a small town, you got those problems. High beamers, people who don't know how to turn the headlights off, or just ignore them, or just straight up don't care about them. I'm pretty sure half of those people that I talked about just don't care that they're shining their light in someone's face, that they have their lights on during the daytime. Hate all of you. I hate all of you, seriously. Especially the high beamers. I hate every single one of you. I'm driving on a lonely country road, and then some 4x4 with like 1 million lumen headlights shines into my face, and then I veer off the road into a ditch, and then my car catches on fire. High beamers should be arrested. Daytime headlight users should be arrested. It's unacceptable. Annoying. Especially, I mean, daytime headlight users aren't dangerous, but it just shows that they don't have any intelligence or respect. Probably both. Because why do you leave your headlights on in the daytime when it's sunny out? You already have a light coming down from the sky. Why do you need to feel it to produce your light onto the world? You think you're special, don't you? Asshole. But yeah, that's my rant for today. Please learn how your headlights work. Please turn them off when you're parked in your car, when there's people nearby. And especially turn them off if it's daytime. And also turn your high beams off when you're passing the car on the road. That's all I got to say. Basic driving school skills you need to learn. You need to learn. All right. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you all some other day. Take care.